Before we get started, this video actually has a part 2 to it, but in the part 2, it's only focused on Bloodhound tips with the #1 Bloodhound player. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about Bloodhound or Apex in general. But for now, let's jump straight into the video. My name is Nickel, Nickel, and I want to start this off by discussing how Splash Noob became the #1 Bloodhound in the world from his own perspective.
What's going on, guys? Splash Noob. I'm the #1 Bloodhound in the world currently. I have about 6,000 kills, and I'm grinding and streaming this game every day, loving every minute of it.
So when did you start playing Apex Legends?
A couple hours after release. Interestingly enough, I actually didn't even know this game was a thing. I didn't know it was coming out or anything at all. My friends were like, yo, you gotta download this new game. I was like, all right, let's try it out. And I fell in love instantly.
How do you think you became the #1 Bloodhound in the world? What were you doing?
Well, I started off like not playing Bloodhound. I played everyone but Bloodhound first, and then it was like the first time I ever played him was just like, I don't know, this is the character for me. That's what it felt like. So I always like being a fast-paced kind of character, and with his ultimate, get that huge speed bonus. So I was a big fan of that right off the rip.
So is that the main reason you chose Bloodhound?
Yeah, that, and because I like to go for high kill games, being able to see players, glowing hot red across the map definitely helps for that.
Obviously, we're going to make a little tip video after this one, but just what are some ways that you felt helped you become the top Bloodhound player right now?
I think utilizing all of his abilities is really important. He has the Q, obviously, which pings in a short parameter right in front of you. There is good and bad ways to use it. I would encourage people to know when to use it at the right times. Some people will just hit it for no good reason, and actually it gives away your position.
Yeah, because they can see when that Q goes off if they're the enemy.
Exactly. So a lot of people, like, I'll go up against Bloodhounds, and you know they're close by, but you don't know exactly where they are. If you hit that Q, then they can actually see exactly where you called it in from.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful where you're calling in your Q. Sometimes the situation you're in, it's better not to use it at all.
Yeah. When's a really good time to use it, or what kind of positioning would you be most ideal to want to pull it off?
I think early game, you can't go wrong using it. Just to kind of get an idea of what's around you, what's going on. Is it safe here? Is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you're trying to clear through buildings, for example, at Skull Town. That's one of my favorite landings in the game. When I go there, it's good to ping through the walls and just, try to get an idea of what you're heading into. And it actually tells you at the top of your screen, 3 hostiles, 4 hostiles, whatever. So you want to be able to keep an eye on that and know how many players you're about to, sprint into.
Yeah. What's the best way to optimize it in your opinion? When's the best time to use Bloodhound's ultimate from all the hours you put into Bloodhound?
Okay, so anybody who watches my stream often, you'll see me tell my teammates, hey, I'm going to hit the zip line and I'm going to pop my ult, the redeploy zip line. Like I said, I think Bloodhound is really good for going for high kill game because they glow hot red anywhere from across the map while you're in your ultimate. So a lot of times you'll see me pop my ult, go up the redeploy, and then immediately be like, oh, there's a team right there. I think he's really good for just hunting down enemies. A lot of players don't have that same utility he does as far as tracking people down and really just getting those high kill games,
Do you feel like you use the Bloodhound ultimate to chase, when you wouldn't really be able to do that with other heroes? Do you feel like that's a common usage of your ultimate, or not so much?
Absolutely. For example, when you're going against a Bangalore, you shoot her, she takes off. Her passive triggers and she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pop Bloodhound ult, you're actually able to keep up with her pretty well. I do use it. Like I said, I think it's really good in team fights. It lasts for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it feels like it lasts forever, man. It goes on.
It lasts for a long time.
Yeah, the first time I played it, I was like, this is still going? It's like a marathon ultimate or something.
Yeah, it lasts for a long time. One downside about it is, I don't know if you've noticed, his ultimate actually drops frames hardcore when you press it, which is a huge downer.
Do you think that's for everyone, or what kind of setup are you running right now?
Well, I don't think I get it as bad as some other people. I see people talking about it on Reddit and things like that, and they seem to have it a lot worse than I do. I'll go from about 140 frames to 90 when I hit it.
Do you think that's just because there's so much going on that the PC's trying to process?
Yeah, I think so. And for whatever reason, I think the ultimate may not be perfectly optimized yet, and hopefully they'll tamper with that a bit and make it so it's not so harsh on the graphics card over time.
Yeah, definitely.
The funny thing about me being rank 1 Bloodhound is that I actually wasn't going for it. I actually was just playing the character and really enjoying him. It wasn't until I reached level 100 that I even found out there was a leaderboard system. And my friend told me, dude, you're #1 Bloodhound. And I was like, no way. And I looked, and then there it was. I was #1 Bloodhound, and I have been ever since. That was probably about a week ago.
What? So you weren't even trying to become #1?
I wasn't going for it. No, it just happened. Like once I hit level 100, my friend found the leaderboards and he was like, "Dude, you're rank 1." I was like, "No way." And, yeah,
Do you think he's the strongest hero in the game right now?
I do not know.
Oh, you don't think he's the strongest legend?
I actually don't. I think the strongest legend in the game is probably Bangalore, honestly.
Who do you think is the second strongest?
Second strongest, honestly, a lot of people don't agree with me, but I think Gibraltar is way up there.
Really?
Yeah, I think Bloodhound is really good for solo plays, but from a competitive standpoint, I don't think Bloodhound fits in as well as Wraith or Gibraltar or Bangalore. I think those are the best 3 characters, in my opinion. And then I think Bloodhound is right there underneath of them.
What do you think makes Gibraltar so strong?
I think Gibraltar brings a lot to the table as far as team fights go. Like, say you're running around the map, find yourself in a situation, and I think just having that mobile cover, anywhere you want on the map, he's just got it for you. So I think that's definitely a huge utility to any team, having Gibraltar just be able to, provide instant cover on the dime.
Who do you think is the weakest legend?
The weakest legend, hands down, is Mirage.
Really?
Hands down. You wanted some reasons?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so the only good thing about him is his Q, and I say that because his ult has so many things that are bad about it. For one, it has a visual Q so that when you do pop your ult, everyone around you knows you popped your ult. It sends those clones every direction, so they're not going to be shooting at those clones. They're going to be looking for that white ghost running around the map, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, you can't, cancel his ultimate short, so like you're in a set timer when you press the button. I think it's like 8 or 9 seconds or something like that. I could be off. I don't know the exact times, but you're stuck in his ult until it's over. So you can't shoot, you can see people and you can sneak around, but they can see you, pretty clearly for the most part. And at the same time, you're unable to even shoot back. So in my opinion, Mirage is by far the worst in the game. Sorry to the Mirage mains.
Yeah. How much would you say that you practice a day?
I've been streaming probably 12 hours a day for the past like 2 weeks now.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing this game a lot, man.
Dang.
I love it.
Is there anything you think that somebody who's brand new to the game, let's say they are doing 12-hour sessions, what should they focus on in order to kind of accelerate their learning and getting better at the game?
Like in-game tips, you mean, yeah?
Yeah.
When people ask me this question on my stream, the biggest tip I can give to anyone playing any BR is to fight every single time you can. If you hear gunshots, run to them and go fight, because you're not going to get better, going for the win. I don't go for the win, I go for the kills. That's how I play the game. I don't play to really even get first. Like, I'd rather have a 30 kill game and get second than get a 10 kill game and a win. That's just how I am.
What about with Bloodhound specifically? What do you think is the best way to kind of, get better with Bloodhound specifically?
Right. Okay. So for Bloodhound, I think his ult is definitely the best part about him. It's good to use in any fight, any situation. If you're running into to like third party a team or something, it's never bad to pop it. He doesn't have the kind of ult where it's like you really have to think about when to use it. If you're about to go fight, getting that speed boost and being able to like see people through Bangalore smoke is awesome. My brother plays Bangalore, and I'll tell him like, hey, I'm about to pop my ult. He's like, all right, I'm smoking. So he'll pop smoke all over the place, and it's like free kills just shooting through smoke while they're all glowing.
Like the 1-2 combo.
As far as like team composition go, I think Bangalore and Bloodhound is one of the best in the game for sure.
Right now, what guns do you think are the strongest in the game? I know a lot of people mention Wingman all the time, but do you have anything outside of Wingman?
First and foremost, the Wingman is the best gun in the game.
Yeah.
Next to that, I think this game is actually very balanced as far as the weapons go. I was really surprised. You play a lot of new games, BRs especially. You have like your go-tos, right? The guns that are obviously just the best and other guns don't really compete. I don't really feel like that in this game. I think the R99 is awesome. Carbine is disgusting. The Spitfire, the Hemlock. There's so many good options in this game. Really, they made it like in a way where you can pick up any gun and go kick ass,
Do you think there's anything to certain guns are better in the hands of certain legends? variations, or do you think it's pretty much the same across any legend that's using those guns?
No, I don't think the weapons are better in any other Legend's hands. I think certain attachments maybe. Like for example, Digital Threat on Bangalore is one of the most disgusting combos in the game. You get a Digital Threat on like a Wingman, for example, pop smoke, you can see through the smoke, you know, while you can see them clearly and they can't even see you, so it's kind of busted a little bit.
In terms of the weakest, besides like I guess Mozambique, what do you think some of the weaker guns?
Okay, well, I don't think the Mozambique is, you know, as bad as everyone says.
Okay.
I don't think it's the worst gun in the game. I think the P2020 is the worst gun in the game. It has 10 shots and it does 10 damage per shot. So you'd have to land 10 perfect shots at the beginning of the game to kill someone. But with a Mozambique way, you get 3. If you hit, you know, 3 solid hits, you're gonna knock someone down at the start of the game.
Yeah, with no armor or anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the P2020, you can't miss, basically.
So the time of this recording, the Havoc is the newest gun. Where do you think it fits in there?
I think the Havoc is really good for multiple reasons. It's obviously like a hybrid weapon. You can use it more as like a DMR or like a spray down kind of weapon. One thing I think was a big plus about it being added to the game was that more energy ammo can be found now.
Yeah.
So if you liked running the Devotion or the Triple Take before, having the Havoc also spawning energy ammo, you know, gives the players who like those weapons the opportunity to find more ammo for them. Whereas before, there was such a huge lack of energy ammo on the map.
Yeah, definitely. So we talked a little bit before about which legends are strongest or weakest, but what do you think, not necessarily the legend, but who do you think has the best ultimate ability, regardless of the rest of their kit?
Ooh, best ultimate ability in the game. Again, I think it's a toss-up between Gibraltar or Bangalore. Reason I say that is because both of them, their ults are kind of similar. They give you a huge, like, zoning tool for your team.
Yeah.
So in any team fight, especially for Bangalore, hers is so huge. You throw that down, nobody wants to get hit by that stun, you know, because if you get hit by it and then you get rushed, you can't even really defend yourself. So I think Bangalore's is definitely up there. Gibraltar is also up there. His is just a powerhouse. You know, if you throw it right on the money, you can wipe a whole team with that thing. It does a ton of damage. It sucks to be stuck in there. And it also has a pretty minor stud on it as well. Then third best, I think, is Wraith. I think Wraith's portals are really good to get you and your team in and out of crazy situations. Anybody who's playing Wraith who has mastered her ultimate can definitely, you know, turn the tables in any type of team fight for sure.
So when you play, do you have a dedicated team that you usually play with over and over again, or do you go solo queue more often?
Honestly, I rarely solo queue. I have a lot of friends that I play this game with.
Popular.
Well, I wouldn't say popular, but I have my circle, you know what I mean?
Awesome. Does everyone kind of play around your Bloodhound pick, or do they, like, is anyone ever competing for your Bloodhound spot?
Honestly, no. I mean, all my friends know that, like, I'm, you know, #1 on him, so they give him to me. Nobody even tries to play him. And it's not like, I don't know, I think everybody likes their characters too, you know?
If you ever get into a situation where you can't play Bloodhound, who's your, like, next best pick, or who do you feel next most comfortable with after Bloodhound?
So, despite saying that I think Bangalore's the best in the game, I really enjoy playing Gibraltar.
Okay.
I think he's a ton of fun.
Nice.
A lot of people don't like him. They think he's, you know, slower than other characters, or he just doesn't bring a lot. I think he's maybe one of the best legends in the game. So I think he's definitely my second go-to.
So before Apex Legends, what game did you play the most before the game came out?
Well, right before this game came out, I was grinding a game called Path of Exile. I don't know if you've heard of it.
The action RPG?
Yeah, that's the one. That game had me, man. It had me locked down. I was playing that game for like 2 months straight.
Nice.
All day, every day, grinding. I loved that game. And then this game came out, and now it's got me.
So did you play any shooters before, or?
Yeah, I was big into Fortnite. I actually, right now, I am a content creator for Morituri Esports. But back when Fortnite was booming, around Season 3, Season 2, I was team captain for their Fortnite team.
Oh, wow. Are you still playing Fortnite right now?
No, I don't really play Fortnite anymore. I gotta keep that #1 spot,
man.
bro.
How difficult do you think it's going to be to maintain like the #1 spot with Bloodhound? Are you planning on going for it continuously?
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna try to hold on to it for as long as I can. Having a #1 spot draws a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like obviously, you know, you reached out to me because I was #1 on the character, so
Totally.
It's presenting opportunities for me, which is really exciting. So I'm definitely gonna try to keep that #1 spot for sure.
Were you playing Fortnite as many hours as you were playing Apex Legends?
No. When I was playing Fortnite, I was also working full time.
Okay.
I actually just left the job I was with, so I've been unemployed for about 2 months now.
When the game came out, were you just like, I'm going all in on this game?
Yeah, I guess so. At first, I was just kind of put my feet in the water and, was like, let's see what this game's all about. And then it didn't take more than a day to fall in love with it and want to grind it.
So you were competitive in Fortnite. Were you competitive in any other games before Fortnite?
Oh yeah, I played a lot of Call of Duty for years.
Okay.
I started in MW3, and I played them all. I've played all of them at least a little bit since then.
Okay. And speaking of Fortnite, do you think, this is a question that comes up kind of all the time, but do you think that there's ever a chance Apex will become bigger than Fortnite one day?
Ooh, we can hope. I keep calling Apex Legends the Fortnite killer.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I am not the biggest fan of Fortnite anymore. I feel like they kind of took a turn in the wrong direction somewhere along the way.
What happened, or what do you think went wrong?
I think they reached out more so to a casual audience, which isn't a bad thing by any means. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, but I think that a lot of the more competitive side of the community is really upset with the direction they took, just adding things that don't really belong in a competitive scenario.
Speaking of that also, what things do you think need to be changed in Apex or added to the game to keep it from going in the wrong direction?
I think not tuning the game too much is really important. A lot of developers try to please everybody, and in doing so, they somehow, ruin a good thing that they already had. For example, I would hope to see them not tamper with the weapons too much. I think, if anything, the only gun in the game right now that currently needs any kind of tuning is the wingman.
Yeah.
I think everything else is pretty well balanced, and I really hope they don't touch anything else, to be honest, because I think that's where developers go wrong a lot of the time. They try to, tune the weapons and do this and do that, and then ultimately they start going downhill.
So, just to close this one out, any final tip for Bloodhound?
Final tips. Pop your ult in every team fight. You can't go wrong. There's not a bad time to use his ult. You get that speed boost. You can spot enemies from wherever. Make sure you're pinging them for your teammates. Other than that, Bloodhound, I think, is a pretty easygoing character. There's not too many skill gap curves on him. I think anybody can pick him up and enjoy him right away.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Not a problem, bro. Thanks for having me.
Where do you stream? When do you stream?
Okay. I stream on twitch.tv/splashnoob_, and I stream normally throughout the entire day. I'm on the East Coast, so I stream from about 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., give or take.
And of course, we'll leave a link to that down below in the description. You guys can check him out, drop him a follow, show him some love. Thanks so much, dude.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.